Hello and welcome to the Suburban Outdoorsman. My name is Randy Atchley and I'm your host. Today our episode is about suburban deer hunting. I've started last year deer hunting for the first time ever, and that was at the behest of a lady whose deer population was out of control and they were destroying her yard. So I picked up the sport, got all the proper equipment, and taught myself how to deer hunt by really reading a lot of magazines, watching television, and everything else. And over time, last year we managed to take 4 deer off the property. So I'm not an expert deer hunter. I wouldn't say that I am even an amateur deer hunter. But the thing is, I've learned a little bit just from trial and error, and I want to share a little bit with you before I show you the rest of the video. A couple of things that you might want to take into is that these deer aren't quite as sensitive as a wild deer as far as being jumped and stuff like that. They're going to come back because that's where their food is, and there's really no place else for them to go except some of these brushy areas where they hide in. So even if you jump them, a couple days later they're probably going to be back in there. Heck, they might even be back there the rest of the day. But they generally don't have very much places to go like a wild deer who would just keep moving on to another territory. And the other thing that you learn really quick is that there tend to be a lot of deer in a really small area. And in our case, it really stunts those deer. Their horns are really small, sometimes almost non-existent, because there's really nothing in their diet that gives them anything to grow good horns. So don't be discouraged if their horns are really small. In East Tennessee, they don't get big anyway. There's really no agriculture here, so there's not much. You're not going to see a trophy here, but I guess in places like Illinois and stuff, that there's really no reason why they won't become gigantic. And from what I understand, there's been a lot of trophy deer shot in the suburbs and right into the edge of the city. So the thing I learned last year right off was be really careful where you put your stands. The stand I put it too close to the main deer trail, and then they changed their whole entire habit just to keep away from it. So don't put your stand too close to the trail. Make sure that that you can see the trail very well, but do not just kind of put it right on it, 10 yards from it. You want to be back as far as you can and still make a good shot. But don't just, put it right there without really thinking about it, because it'll take time to get used to it. And the other thing you learn really quick is take advantage of things in on the property. And that could be like fence rows, it could be the house. You could literally, at one of the places I hunt, you could actually sit on their deck and shoot the deer if you wanted to. Use the driveway. I know that sounds strange, but some driveways have a wall on them. You can actually use that for cover and concealment, so that the deer don't see you coming up there. And the place last year where I had my blind was in a flower bed where the flowers were kind of grown around. It kind of helped conceal it. If you're putting up tree stands for archery, which I did this year, I waited too late to put them up, and the deer did just like they did last year when I put left my other blind up. It was just a little too close to their natural pathway, so they started avoiding it. The way I combated that was to use my pop-up blind and move to the other parts of the property where they're circling that area. I moved over to where with the pop-up blind I could set it up and take advantage of the fact that they've changed some of their routes. So that's just a couple of things that I've learned in my limited amount of time deer hunting here. A couple of issues that you have with suburban deer hunting, and the first one is obviously safety. There are so many houses. I mean, I'm hunting within 100 yards of 4 or 5 houses, but I'm making sure I'm shooting in a safe direction at all times. I mean, the gun never goes up in the air. It's always pointed at the ground. The area I shoot is basically at the bottom of like a canyon. If there's a canyon in East Tennessee, that's what it is. It's a very steep hill down to like a natural drainage area. So even if the bullet ricochets, it's probably going to hit the mountain on the other side of this little canyon. The next thing is neighbors. In this case, the neighbors don't mind me hunting there because the deer are destroying their yard as well. So I've not had anybody confront me yet with neighbors, but I could see it happening if everybody was on board. In fact, one of the neighbors is the one that's called TWRA last year to get us a depredation tag. So he's on board. He doesn't mind. The more that I shoot to get out there, the happier they are. The next part that's a sticky situation really is recovery. Until yesterday, I'd never had a deer run out of that property and onto someone else's property. And yesterday I shot it, made a good shot right through the heart and lungs, but it still ran probably 150, 200 yards right straight up this hill and into a right-of-way for a power line. And I had to track it up there. I could see a scenario where a deer would turn and go into somebody's front yard or something, be out there flopping and dying with an arrow through them, and then you have to go out there and recover it. Now, most folks in East Tennessee probably don't really care that much because a lot of people grew up here hunting and fishing. But I could see a real issue if you lived in the more cityfied suburbs and you shot a deer and it ran into your neighbor's yard and died. So recovery is an issue. I don't really know how to combat it. I mean, I know a lot of ways that you can just call, in our case, call the TWRA and ask them to come out and help you recover the deer. So, I mean, that's always an option, but I'd rather avoid it to begin with. And some of the ways is just making sure that you've got your weapons ready to go that can really try to drop that deer right off, and you don't want it to run forever if you could possibly help it. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about is the type of weapons you can use for suburban deer hunting. Now, to me, the bows and the crossbows are the best thing because they don't make any noise. You don't have to you're not walking through somebody's yard with a gun. And with the recent paranoia over guns, it's even better that you're not walking through their yard with a gun. So bows and crossbows tend to be one of the better things to do. And if I was a better bow shot, I would have already had 4 or 5 deer this year, but I'm not. So next year it's all crossbow for me. That's what I'm getting to take deer hunting, and that's going to be my weapon of choice. The next kind of group is kind of together, and that would be shotguns and muzzleloaders. Almost the same range effectively. They don't carry near as far as a regular powder rifle, like a 30-06 or something like that. And I think that people, when they see the muzzleloader or the shotgun, think you're giving the deer a little more fair shake. I know that sounds strange, but they don't have as harsh a look at you. You know, if I walked over there with my AR-15 under my arm, I'm going to get some looks of disdain, I'm afraid. So I choose mostly in the suburbs to use my muzzleloader because it just has an appearance that you're fair, which I know this sounds strange, but you know, you're dealing with people who aren't hunters, and they see that muzzleloader and they think that you've handicapped yourself in some ways. And in fact, it puts them down just as fast as anything else does. The last thing carrying in are rifles, regular rifles, and I have no advice there. Like I said, the only disdain that you might get if you walked in with some sort of AR type rifle to deer hunt, but that's kind of everywhere. But you really have to be careful with a regular rifle because it does carry so far. They tend to be really loud, where the muzzleloader kind of goes kaboom and the shotgun has more of a boom sound. I mean, the rifles have that ear-piercing crack, that just echoes forever, it seems like. So I usually try to avoid the rifle just because of that. Seeing the prejudice and everything else, I just avoid using the regular rifle in the suburbs. Though there's no reason to avoid it except those. The last thing is if your state allows it, you can use large bore air rifles. And large bore air rifles are just about perfect for it because A, it's an air rifle, it's not quite as loud as a regular gun. And the perception is it's an air rifle so that it's not as dangerous. And we all know, who's seen the pictures of large bore air rifles shooting African wild game, that they are very dangerous and they can kill things. And air rifles kill hogs all the time. So the large bore air rifles are a really effective tool for this, but they're illegal in the state of Tennessee, so obviously I can't use them here. So anyway, those are some hints that I wanted to pass along to you as far as my suburban deer hunting. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't profess to be an expert, but these are just some things that I really think would be helpful if you were to start thinking about doing it and get permission to hunt in somebody's backyard, because I'm really hunting an area that's probably not more than 3 or 4 acres, and there are deer walking in and out of it all the time. I went back to get my game camera just a few minutes ago, and even from last night there was already 2 deer standing there in the middle of the afternoon, right where I'd shot the deer before. So these these hints are there to help you. If you have any question, you can always email me at atchman2@yahoo.com anytime you want, and I'll try to give you the best answer I can. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the video coming up. I've managed, it's only the second time ever that I managed a big game kill on camera, where I've shot those other deer. I've always got, before I shot and after it's on the ground, but I never actually got the hit. So this time I actually got the hit on the camera, it's not the greatest video footage in the world. It's clear, you can see everything that's going on, but when you're trying to film, trying to shoot and not move too much when the deer is right there in front of you, you can see where it becomes hard. Anyway, thank you for watching.
I got here early and I put my new salt block down there. They had absolutely smashed it flat. I don't know if it's just the deer or something else too, but I put a new salt block down. I put my new trail camera down there because I haven't had any trail camera pictures from here all year because my other one's on the fritz. So I put my new camera down there, leave it tonight, maybe hunt again in the morning, just leave the blind set up so I don't have to lug it. This thing's nice, but it weighs 17 pounds, and that and a pack, a gun, something to sit on, and you see what I'm talking about. It takes a long, it gets pretty heavy to tote this thing around with everything else, and that's why I like the muzzle loader, because it only weighs like 6.5 pounds, so really light, easy to carry. But the blind's nice, but like I said, it's a heavy son of a gun when you start to carry it a long way, especially up and down the steep East Tennessee hills. Well, today I'm back at the subdivision, one of my favorite places to hunt because it's so close to my home. I gave it a rest for a while, and according to the tables, this is supposed to be a good day to hunt, so I decided to get out. Really warm, 50-something degrees, and haven't seen a deer in so long, I almost forgot what they look like. But I brought the muzzle loader today, still have a charge in it. I thought I'd see if I could shoot it out before the end of the season, and doe days have started, so I could shoot pretty much anything I see. And I got some people that want some venison, so let's just see how it goes today. Maybe I'll get a shot, maybe I'll get it on camera. That'd be really cool. But it is a nice day. I think I got him. I'm going to have to go track him. He just ran up to the woods up there. That was just a little spike. But I haven't filled out my buck permits this year, so spike or no spike, he's getting shot. But now I have to go find him. And of course he ran up a hill, which means I've got to rope up a hill. If I get him, then drag him all the way back down a hill and all the way back up a hill to get to him. Bullet starter here. Hopefully he did not go very far. I use this thing to keep my hands from getting hurt when I push the ramrod all the way down. Last thing, new cap. I'll give him a minute to see if I can find him. Hopefully didn't run into somebody's yard. Pretty sure I hit him, because I hit him. He jumped like I hit a perfect long shot. I mean, he just bolted his whole back bowed up. He took off running. I'm pretty sure he's dead right at the top of that hill. But let me show you where it's at. There's the top of the hill. I'm pretty sure he's right up yonder above me. But I watched him for a long time, hoping to get him on a good video of him. So let's see. I better dismount the camera here and take it with me so I can show you guys. But hopefully I got him. Hopefully. It's the first deer I've seen forever. I've got about 20 minutes of light. I gave him just a few to go up there, but I'm pretty sure he's just at the top of the hill. He couldn't have went far. I mean, that's a 50 caliber, 300 grain slug, and it wasn't 20-something yards to where he's at, so I don't give him much hope of dusting that one off. I think it dust off a freaking elephant. So, all right, let's go. As you can see, this hill is so steep, I can't walk directly down it. I have to take this little trail. I go straight down and follow my rear end because it's slick. It's been raining for 2 days. So we're going down this hill. Right up the hay bale then. That's straws and hay. There's no nutrition value, so even the deer aren't going to eat that crap. Be a nice archery target though. Alright, see, it's getting dark already. I hit him right about here, so let's see if there's no blood. But I saw pretty much where he went. He came right down that path right there. Great. Well, no blood here. Here's where he ran. I can see there's some track. Right down there, so let's just go. Turn off the camera because I don't want all this. Well, if you can see, there's lots of blood right here. And right here. Right here. Drop right here. That's blood. See that mark? I don't know where the hell he's at. Blood. Down the hill. Right here. Big drops of blood right here. Blood. See that now? Got to be right up here. And there's blood everywhere. See that? Direction right here, like here, here. Look here, first tracking job on a deer, first one ever. I don't know if he's dead or not. I hit him a little bone, but shot him from the other side. Anyway. Think this ain't suburban deer hunt? But you look right up yonder, swing set, behind his backyard, power line right away that direction. A little bitty buck. One of his horns must have broken. Little bitty buck. One of his horns must have broke off. Coming up through here. Shot from the other side. Shot came down. Right there. You see where it came out the other side. It's steep down angle, so he was hit really solid, I think. It just No, it was time to die. Well, that's buck number 2. Deer number 6 with the old muzzleloader. So, anyway, I'm gonna try dragging him back down to somebody else's yards. They don't see me down here gutting him. So, and I'll show you how low the sun is in the sky. It's gonna get dark any second now. So. This is the first deer I've ever had to track. The shot was good. Steep downward angle. The shot came from this side, came out the side down here. So it looks like it's a perfect shot. This rifle, it's Traditions Canyon muzzleloader. Walmart special, dirt cheap. Really great rifle though for a couple $100. It's got a little 4-power scope on it. It's a deer slaying fool. I really like this rifle. Using this big old Hornady 300 grain bullet, though it doesn't need it, but it sure works on them. I tell you that. Never had one wounded and run off. So this one here, he was dead. He just didn't know his whole size on that. I don't know if you can see it for the trees, but that's my friend Ann's house right there. So there's like a very steep canyon in between here and there. So I got to drag down and drag back up a hill. It's going to be generally horrible. I've dragged deer out of this place 5 times now. It doesn't get easier any one. But I got a drag kit somewhere in the car, so I'm going to have to go get it here in a second. Try to get him up that other hill. Let's see. There's my mare step hub hunting blind. Shot him. I'm actually standing right where I hit him from, so you can see it wasn't that far of a shot. But now, see that hill? There's the top of the house. Now I gotta drag it. It's a sorry thing all the way up that hill. So I'm gonna go to the car and get my drag and a tarp and see if I can do this without killing myself. It's pretty cool. It's a sabot from the slug. Never found one before.